the pursuit of answers, love, curiosity, and financial loss. Elisa and Jasmine discuss Jasmine's blind date with Josh Buchan, who is considered one of the most eligible bachelors in Wiltspoon. Elisa is amazed that Jasmine went on a date with Josh, who is widely regarded as one of the most desirable bachelors among the elite in Wiltspoon. Elisa believes that Josh could provide valuable information about Zachary's wife, as Josh is known to be close to Zachary and holds a high position at York Corporation. Serenity confirms that her husband, Zachary, has a good relationship with Josh, which is one of the reasons why he is thriving at York Corporation. She acknowledges that Josh's connections with Mr. York, the head of the wealthy York family, make him highly sought after by both employees and people like Elisa who want to be associated with him. Elisa expresses her desire to gather information about Zachary's wife through Josh, as she wants closure and to know who she has lost to. She encourages Jasmine to continue dating Josh if they get along well, emphasizing that Jasmine's own wealth and connections make her more than suitable for someone like Josh. Elisa even offers to pay Jasmine for her efforts, framing it as a paid assignment. Jasmine, however, feels hesitant about pursuing a relationship with Josh, as she believes he is out of her league after learning about his background. She doesn't feel an immediate love connection and thinks it's best to keep her distance. Nevertheless, Elisa encourages her to give it a chance, highlighting Josh's reliability and the potential for gaining inside information about Zachary. Serenity and Jasmine are taken aback by Elisa's persistence in wanting to gather gossip about Mr. York through Josh. They sense that Elisa's interest in Josh is driven by her curiosity about Zachary's wife rather than a genuine romantic connection. Nonetheless, Jasmine agrees that if Josh invites her out again, she will consider giving the relationship a chance. Meanwhile, Josh, completely unaware of the conversation, feels a burning sensation in his ears and wonders who might be talking about him behind his back. He checks his ears using his phone's camera and finds them turning red, indicating that someone may be discussing him unfavorably. Josh, who is best friends with Zachary, muses about the paparazzi camped outside the company entrance and their curiosity about Zachary's wife. The community is buzzing with speculation, but Zachary and his wife, Serenity, remain tight-lipped, leaving everyone curious about her identity. Despite being close to Zachary, Josh is unable to reveal any information, and people frequently try to extract details from him. He finds it annoying but understands the York family's decision to keep the information private. Zachary, on the other hand, carries on with his work as usual, unaffected by the gossip surrounding his relationship. After work, Zachary goes to Wiltspoon Hotel for a meal, accompanied by his security team. He calls Mr. Zen, the chef, to deliver some of Serenity's favorite dishes to her. He also requests Mr. Zen to buy a bouquet of flowers from the florist, which will be delivered along with the food. To Zachary's surprise, he runs into Clive, a business competitor and the husband of Elisa, at the hotel entrance. Clive rarely visits Wiltspoon Hotel since his family owns their own hotels. However, It seems that Clive is there for a business meeting with his clients. Both Zachary and Clive have a strong presence, and their respective entourages come to a halt when they face each other. Clive's eyes are drawn to Zachary's left hand, where he notices a ring. However, it is not the gold ring that Zachary had posted on social media. Zachary, realizing Clive's curiosity, raises his hand and offers a closer look. Clive mentions Zachary's social media post and asks about the ring change. Zachary explains that his wife found the gold ring less appealing and replaced it with a more expensive eternal diamond ring. Clive acknowledges his wife's good taste and secretly wonders about her background and family. He is curious to know which family she comes from and grumbles internally about his rival, Zachary. Clive Stone's curiosity about Zachary York's wife remains unsatisfied as Zachary politely declines to reveal her identity. However, Clive acknowledges Zachary's request for privacy and comments on his ability to protect his wife. Zachary reiterates his commitment to love, protect, and cherish his wife forever, leaving Clive intrigued by the depth of Zachary's love. Clive reflects on his sister's failed relationship with Zachary, realizing that they were not meant to be together. Despite his attempts to convince his sister to let go of her feelings for Zachary, she remained devastated. Clive understands that once Zachary falls in love, it is a lifelong commitment, and he contemplates how different things might have been if Zachary had fallen for his sister. He acknowledges that he would have supported their relationship to bridge the gap between York Corporation and the Stone Group. Zachary commends Clive on his devotion to his wife and admires the strength of their relationship. Clive expresses joy about his wife and their commitment to each other. They engage in a lighthearted conversation about spoiling their wives, surprising those around them who are not accustomed to seeing them on friendly terms. Clive playfully mentions the uxorious husband club, and they discuss ways to shower their wives with love and affection. Zachary extends an invitation to Clive for dinner, and Clive considers it, taking into account his clients who are accompanying him. Ultimately, Clive accepts the invitation, intrigued by the change in their dynamic and amazed that Zachary is treating him to dinner. He contemplates how love can transform people and finds it surreal to be in this situation with Zachary. As they gather for dinner, the community remains unaware of the interaction between Zachary and Clive. Zachary's reputation as an uxorious husband starts to spread, adding to the curiosity surrounding his wife's identity among the community members. The unexpected camaraderie between Zachary and Clive leaves others astonished, as they witness the unlikely bond forming between the CEOs of rival companies. Serenity and Zachary discuss the buzz surrounding Zachary's boss and his recent announcement of marriage without revealing his wife's identity. Serenity, intrigued by the gossip, asks Zachary if he has any inside information about the mysterious wife. Zachary, with a playful demeanor, teases Serenity about using skincare products given by Elisa Stone but promises to get her preferred brand instead. Serenity questions Zachary's jealousy and expresses her curiosity about the identity of Zachary's boss's wife. Zachary, initially amused by Serenity's sudden interest, becomes cautious when he learns that Elisa Stone is specifically interested in knowing who the wife is. He wonders if Elisa has any ulterior motives that could potentially harm his boss's marriage. Serenity defends Elisa, stating that she is a nice girl who had feelings for Zachary's boss but has decided to move on if he is married. Serenity reveals that she had even entertained the idea of Elisa marrying Zachary's boss and herself being the bridesmaid, but she now realizes that it was not meant to be. Zachary discloses that only Mr. Buchan, his boss's acquaintance, might have some knowledge about the CEO's private life. Although he confirms that the CEO genuinely adores his wife, he refrains from providing specific examples of his boss's uxorious behavior, causing Serenity to wonder about the extent of his affection. Serenity acknowledges that the CEO's decision to keep his wife away from the public eye is likely a protective measure. She realizes the magnitude of the CEO's influence after hearing the gossip surrounding him all day and understands his desire to shield his wife from harm that could arise from public attention. Zachary discreetly wipes away a cold sweat from his forehead, suggesting that there may be more to the CEO's marriage than meets the eye. Zachary changes the subject to discuss the upcoming DNA test results of Mrs. Stone and Serenity. He informs Serenity that the results will be available tomorrow and mentions that he will be going on a business trip the next day. Serenity offers to drive him to the airport and pack his things, but Zachary declines, stating that the company has arranged for an airport transfer. The conversation then shifts to Jasmine and Mr. Buchan's relationship. Serenity suggests giving them a nudge to progress their relationship, but Zachary believes it's up to them to decide. Serenity expresses her support for Jasmine and Mr. Buchan, thinking they look good together. Zachary mentions another potential candidate, Remy, for Miss Sox if things don't work out with Mr. Buchan. Remy is an important client of Zachary and has a team of security with him. However, Serenity points out that Jasmine prefers someone from Wiltspoon and not necessarily from a wealthy family. Zachary acknowledges that Jasmine is seen as an heiress due to her family's assets, but those who have become wealthy in Wiltspoon don't see themselves as wealthy and continue living modest lives. Serenity and Zachary discuss the matchmaking between Jasmine and Mr. Buchan. She believes that Jasmine and Mr. Buchan would develop a spark between them once they become more familiar with each other. Zachary mentions that Mr. Buchan is impressed by Jasmine and suggests giving him some time to make more initiatives in their relationship. With the upcoming New Year holidays, they expect both Jasmine and Mr. Buchan to have more time to focus on their personal and emotional matters. Serenity contemplates the benefits of Jasmine and Josh getting together, as it could benefit Zachary as well by riding on Josh's coattails and potentially leading to a promotion and salary increase. However, she dismisses the idea of matchmaking for monetary gains and reflects on the warmth and companionship in her own relationship with Zachary. Later, as Serenity prepares to remove her facial mask, she invites Zachary to join her in bed to share body warmth. Zachary playfully teases her about using him as a hot compress, and they engage in lighthearted banter. They discuss the cold weather forecast and Serenity's need for warmth, emphasizing the importance of taking care of oneself in Zachary's absence. Before going to sleep, Zachary reminds Serenity to keep wearing her diamond ring and playfully mentions making Sean jealous. Serenity assures him that she will think of him and playfully declares that she is sleep-talking. They share a tender moment, with Zachary reminding Serenity not to forget him while he is away on his business trip. Serenity and Zachary share a tender moment before going to sleep. Serenity kisses Zachary and calls him honey, which surprises him as she hadn't reacted when he had called her by the same name before. They engage in a passionate kiss, but Serenity pushes him away and suggests they sleep. Zachary, feeling overwhelmed, decides to take a shower to cool down. While Zachary is in the bathroom, Serenity muses to herself that she kissed him lightly because she knows it's not the right time to take their relationship to a more intimate level. She playfully scolds herself for getting greedy and hides under the covers, falling asleep before Zachary finishes his shower. The next morning, they are woken up by a phone call. Serenity lazily asks Zachary to check who's calling and he discovers it's from her sister's mother-in-law. Before Serenity takes the call, she informs Zachary to prepare breakfast while she packs his luggage. Serenity answers the call from Olivia, who is furious and looking for Liberty. Olivia is shocked to discover that the house where Liberty and Hank had been living has been completely wrecked. She assumes Liberty is responsible for the damage and threatens to call the police. Serenity explains to Olivia that the house was in that condition when Hank purchased it, and Liberty had spent over $400,000 on renovations. However, Olivia refused to reimburse Liberty and even challenged her to remove the floor tiles herself if she wanted her money back. Serenity suggests that Liberty took matters into her own hands to reclaim the renovation fee, which infuriates Olivia. Olivia argues that Liberty lived in the house rent-free for several years, but Serenity counters by pointing out that Liberty worked as a nanny for Hank without receiving a salary. Serenity emphasizes that even if rent were deducted from Liberty's nanny salary, Olivia still owes her money. Chelsea, Olivia's daughter, takes the phone and demands that Serenity contact Liberty and make her come to them. She insists that Liberty should find them a new place to stay or book them a hotel room, as she believes Liberty took over $1 million from Hank. Chelsea feels resentful that her brother had so much money saved, and now half of it went to Liberty, whom she refers to as a fat cow. Chelsea sees this situation as an opportunity for Liberty to compensate them by using the money to book accommodations for them. She expects Liberty to fulfill their demands due to the amount of money involved. Serenity responds to Chelsea's angry phone call with sharp remarks, mocking Chelsea and her family for their current predicament. She emphasizes that Liberty and Hank are divorced and have no obligation to provide them with a place to stay. Serenity blames Chelsea and her family for their situation, stating that if they had compensated Liberty for her losses, they wouldn't be facing homelessness. After hanging up the phone, Serenity blocks Olivia's number to avoid further harassment. Chelsea expresses her frustration to her mother, questioning their next steps. They are already in the city and cannot go back home, as they had informed others that they would be spending the new year there. Chelsea blames her father for agreeing to transfer money to Liberty, believing that they have been deceived. Mr. Brown suggests calling Hank again, as Liberty holds evidence against him and could jeopardize his job if they don't comply with her demands. He advises Chelsea to calm down and stop harassing Serenity, assuring her that Liberty will eventually contact Hank to arrange a meeting with their child. Meanwhile, Olivia reflects on the financial losses they have incurred in the destruction of the house renovations. She regrets paying Serenity's grandfather to convince Liberty not to divorce Hank, realizing that they have suffered greater losses than expected. The family looks to Olivia for guidance and assistance, recognizing the severity of the situation they are in. Tensions escalate within Chelsea's family as they realize the futility of Olivia's attempt to persuade Liberty's family to prevent the divorce. Mr. Brown is furious with Olivia for trusting Liberty's family, especially her grandfather, and spending $60,000 on a failed endeavor. He scolds her for her foolishness and laments the loss of the money. Chelsea, while also criticizing her mother's actions, privately acknowledges that her parents have been receiving financial support from Hank, which adds to her resentment towards Liberty. Determined to recoup the lost money, Olivia plans to confront Liberty's grandfather and demand a refund. Chelsea agrees to accompany her mother in their pursuit to retrieve the $60,000. Mr. Brown, overwhelmed by the financial and emotional strain caused by the divorce, expresses his anger and contemplates the significant cost they have incurred. Despite his anger, he is reminded by Chelsea not to let his emotions harm his health. Meanwhile, Olivia insists on calling Hank and asks him to come over immediately. She also demands that Jessica, Hank's new girlfriend, accompany him, as Olivia holds her partially responsible for the family's fragmentation. Chelsea, harboring animosity towards Jessica, agrees and plans to confront her as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Voice Novel, and follow Voice Novel on Facebook, so you will get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.